Jack didn't think he was stressed. Life wasn't great, but it wasn't falling apart either. He still went to work, still paid his bills, still laughed at jokes, still did all the normal things people do. Yet lately, something felt different. By the end of the day, he felt unusually drained. Not sleepy, drained. The kind of tiredness that doesn't disappear after a good night's sleep. His shoulders always seemed tense. Small inconveniences irritated him more than they used to. And sometimes he would wake up already feeling behind, as though the day had started without him. The strange part was that he couldn't identify a problem big enough to explain any of it. Nothing dramatic had happened. So why did life suddenly feel heavier? One Saturday, Jack finally got some free time. No deadlines, no meetings, no obligations. Just a completely open day. He made coffee, sat on the couch, started a movie, and 10 minutes later, he paused it. Not because the movie was boring, because his mind had wandered somewhere else. He started thinking about his savings, then next month's expenses, then whether he should be earning more, then whether he was wasting time. And then, almost without noticing, he reached for his phone, opened his banking app, checked the numbers, closed it, then opened it again a few minutes later. The movie wasn't the problem. The problem was that relaxing felt uncomfortable. Eventually, he stood up. Maybe he should learn something. Maybe he should work on something. Maybe he should be productive. The day off was still there, but the feeling of rest was gone. And that's what bothered him. Not that he had free time, that he no longer knew how to enjoy it. Most people imagine financial stress as worrying about money. But that's only the visible part. The deeper problem is what happens after the worrying. When the thinking stops, but the feeling doesn't. You answer the bills, you make the budget, you finish the calculations, the spreadsheet is closed, and the numbers are handled. Nothing is actively wrong anymore. Yet somehow you still find yourself checking prices, checking account balances, replaying future scenarios in your head, looking for problems before they exist. Not because something is wrong right now, because something could be wrong later. The car might start making a strange noise, or the appliance might break. The unexpected expense that always seems to arrive at the worst possible moment. And eventually, that vigilance becomes background noise. So familiar that you stop noticing it's there. Until one day you realize you can't fully relax anymore. Imagine a tiger suddenly appeared in front of you. Your body would react instantly, your heart would speed up, your muscles would tighten, your attention would narrow. Everything would be prepared for action. That reaction is useful. The problem isn't the reaction. The problem would be if the tiger never left. If every day you woke up wondering whether it might appear again, you wouldn't stay frightened every second, but you wouldn't be completely relaxed either. Part of you would remain prepared. Financial insecurity works in a similar way. Not because money problems are the same as physical danger, but because uncertainty keeps asking your brain to stay alert. And staying alert requires energy. A lot of it. The strange thing is that you don't feel that energy leaving. Nobody wakes up and says, "I spent 3 hours being vigilant today." You just notice that by evening, you're somehow more tired than the day seems to justify. Most people think financial insecurity costs money, but it can cost something else too. Your attention, your energy, your mental space. The things that help you enjoy life. The things that help you focus on a conversation. Follow a movie, read a book. Sit quietly without feeling like you should be doing something else. A friend tells you a story. Halfway through, you realize you've missed part of it. Not because you weren't listening, because another part of your mind was somewhere else. Even when you finally take a break, the break doesn't feel complete. Your body is sitting on the couch, but part of your attention is still at work. Still budgeting, still preparing. Small setbacks feel larger than they should. Not because you're weak, because you're already carrying a load. And every additional problem gets added on top of it. That's why financial insecurity often feels heavier than the numbers suggest, because part of the burden exists outside the bank account. One evening, Jack noticed something. Nothing urgent needed his attention. The bills were handled, the workday was over, the apartment was quiet. For the first time all day, there was genuinely nothing he needed to do. Yet his body still felt restless. He checked his phone. Nothing urgent. He puts it down, picked it up again a few minutes later. Not because he needed something, but because waiting had become a habit. As though it was waiting for instructions, waiting for the next problem, waiting for permission to relax. And that's when he realized something. The exhaustion wasn't coming from a single bad day. It wasn't even coming from a single financial problem. It was coming from constantly carrying uncertainty. Day after day, week after week, month after month. Maybe that's why financial insecurity feels so physical. Because eventually, it stops being a thought. It becomes a state where rest feels harder, where your energy disappears faster, where your mind keeps one eye on the future, even when nothing is happening. And perhaps that's the cruelest part. Not that financial insecurity takes away comfort, but that it can take away the feeling of safety long before it takes away anything else. So if you, like millions of other people, ever felt exhausted without knowing exactly why, if you've ever struggled to enjoy a quiet moment, if you've ever felt guilty for resting when there was no reason to feel guilty, maybe the weight you're carrying isn't just financial. Maybe it's the constant checking, the constant calculating, the constant preparation, the constant feeling that if you stop paying attention for a moment, something important might slip through the cracks. Maybe it's the constant effort of staying prepared for a future that hasn't arrived.